Welcome to World Really Works. I'm Daniel Wright. Let me ask you a simple question. If you read 25 years old, no college degree, no family money, no Wall Street résumé, do you think you can just walk into Wall Street? The honest answer is almost never. But one man did. His name was Jeffrey Epstein, and for a very long time, almost no one asked him the most basic question of all. Who are you, exactly? Let us go back to New York, the 1970s, a private school called the Dalton School. This wasn't just any school. Tuition was astronomical. The parents weren't well off. They were Wall Street partners, senior politicians, top-tier lawyers, the inner circle of New York's elite. And somehow, a young man in his early 20s, who hadn't even finished college, ended up teaching there. His name was Jeffrey Epstein. By any normal standard, he wasn't qualified, not on paper, not on résumé, not on credentials. But he had one unusual skill. He knew how to talk to rich kids, he taught math, but he rarely stuck to the textbook. He'd casually drift into things like how interest really shapes wealth, why finance runs on relationships, why intelligence alone isn't what gets rewarded, and what it means to be chosen. Slowly, students went home and told their parents, "We have this teacher, he's different." So parents started chatting with him during pickup. He never dominated the conversation, never showed off, but somehow he was always there. Visible, available, observing. Before long, one father took particular notice. That father was a senior executive at Bear Stearns. And here's a detail that matters. At the time, Wall Street was brutally closed, no degree, no pedigree, no track record. You simply didn't get in, but Epstein had one quiet advantage. He had already been observed by elite families, not through interviews, not through résumés, but through children, dinner conversations, everyday proximity. So someone made a very familiar decision. Let's bring him in, see what he can do. No open hiring process, no formal track. Just one sentence. He's fine, let him try. For Epstein, this was a moment of realization. He learned something crucial about how this world works. Ability isn't what gets you a seat at the table. Access does. But getting into Wall Street is not the same as winning there. At Bear Stearns, Epstein wasn't exceptional. He wasn't in the most powerful trading desks. He didn't generate headline numbers. Colleagues described him simply as not bad, not important. On Wall Street, that's the most dangerous place to be. It's where people quietly disappear. And that's when Epstein noticed something. On Wall Street, the rarest skill isn't making money. It's being trusted to handle the things no one wants discussed publicly. Things like how family assets avoid disclosure, how private donations stay off the radar, how certain funds legally vanish from reports. These tasks aren't difficult. They're just dangerous. Because if something goes wrong, you're the first one thrown out. Epstein started handling those problems. By the mid-1980s, he was introduced to a man named Les Wexner, founder of Victoria's Secret, a billionaire, a central figure in America's most influential charitable networks. Wexner didn't need investment advice. He didn't lack financial experts. What he needed was a role. Someone who wouldn't appear in newspapers, someone who executed quietly, and Epstein fit perfectly. Soon, Wexner gave him something extraordinary, a full power of attorney. That meant Epstein could buy properties, set up companies, move assets, handle personal matters, all in Wexner's name. He became a shadow proxy. This was the real leap. Why would Wexner trust someone like Epstein? Risked separation. More precisely, separating out what could be blamed. Epstein had three key traits. First, he had no independent power base. Second, he stayed out of public view. Third, if things went wrong, he had no way to fight back. He wasn't a partner. He was a node, one that could be cut off when necessary. From that moment on, Epstein never had to explain who he was. One sentence was enough. I handle things for Wexner. On Wall Street, that sentence means everything. The money is real, the connections are real, and someone powerful is backing the risk. Soon, more and more inconvenient matters flowed through him. He wasn't visible, but every line ran through him. Jeffrey Epstein didn't suddenly become evil. He was placed into a role that rewards silence, obedience, and discretion. That role has always existed inside elite systems. He didn't climb into high society. He was invited in. Next episode, when too many people put too many secrets into the same hands, why collapse isn't just possible, it's inevitable.